right. Welcome, everyone. We are so excited. Annual William Hammond Hall Awards this year after a little bit of a weird COVID situation at the County Fair building last year. This is how we do it. All right. Today we're going to honor 12 of our department staff who've shown exceptional dedication to their craft, people who steward our parklands and make our park system what? The best in the damn country. That warrants some applause. So I am joined by my co-MC here, our amazing commission president, Mark Buell. And together, we'd like to welcome our commissioners, our former commissioners, everyone who is here to celebrate these amazing individuals, including their own colleagues, many of whom nominated the awardees today. And I really want to give a big shout out to the building trades and Local 261 specifically for being the originator. The very first labor contract that we negotiated, Vince, when I started as general manager, the only thing that you were really fired up about, and if you believe that, but the thing that you were most passionate about was this event, was doing the William Hammond Hall Awards and making sure that the men and women in the field, then our gardeners, now our gardeners and trades, get the proper recognition they deserve. And look at us here today, 14 years later. This is amazing. Give yourselves a round of applause. We'll have some special guests trickling through. There's a rumor Supervisor Mandelman's going to come by. We have Jack Persons from Senator Scott Wiener's office. Teresa, Vince, Ramon. I think, is Rudy here from the Building and Trades? I saw Josh Arce is here from the Mayor's Office of Economic and Workforce Development. So our true MC, and Mark and I are going to do our best, our incredible mayor, you may have heard, got the COVID. So she's been having such a good time all month between the Warriors, Juneteenth, Stern Grove, right? Pride festivities. I'm surprised she hasn't had it 9 times this month. So she's only gotten it once. So rest up, Mayor. We miss you, and we need you back. But she definitely wanted us to express how much she appreciates each of our awardees and all of the men and women who work for this department. You guys have turned this mayor into a parkie, into a park champion. She loves this department. She loves our parks, and she understands that our parks are what's right about San Francisco. So we named this award after William Hammond Hall because of his vision, right there, this guy, for public parks and his understanding of how parks improve our health, happiness, and sense of community. That was over 150 years ago, and flash forward to what we've all been through over the last couple of years, in the pandemic, and how prescient was William Hammond Hall in understanding the important role parks play in mental health. Our parks kept this city healthy and sane, and each and every one of you showed up every single day. School district shut down, the financial district shut down, but this parks department did not shut down during the pandemic, and you should feel very proud. So a quick little bit of bio about Mr. Hall so we all understand the history of the moment. He was a civil engineer who was the first state engineer of California and designed Golden Gate Park more than 150 years ago. He and John McLaren both transformed Outer Lands, which was nothing but sand dunes. Frederick Law Olmsted came out here to visit and said, "You can't build a park in this place." He left, and William Hammond Hall and John McLaren figured it out. And they turned those sand dunes into a green living museum, a vibrant gathering place, and an international treasure. So we celebrate our awardees today who carry on the legacy of William Hammond Hall with passion and dedication. And to the awardees, I would say, and we're going to hear a little bit more about you in a second, but you consistently show up to do the vital work that allows our city to improve its health, to nurture its emotional well-being, and to strengthen its social connections. And your work provides space for people to escape, take a breath of fresh air, and be themselves. Your dedication and talent has allowed loved ones to play together, to enjoy the sun, today the fog and rain together, climb hills, have picnics together, and unite in ways that are truly essential to us being human beings. So I now am going to pass the mic off, Mr. President, if you're ready to offer some inspiring remarks to our awardees and in celebration of parks. This guy, we've been on the same journey for a long time now, 12 years. And our park system is great because this guy puts so much love and soul and inspiration and draws so much positive attention to this park department. Let's give him a big, big round of applause, our president, Mark Buell.
I think he's going to keep his job for another couple of weeks. All right. It is so nice to be here in person with everybody after a couple of years' absence, so thank you all for coming. You know, every 3 or 4 years, the department or the city puts a bond measure on the ballot for parks after we pay off the last bond measure. And every time we need 2/3 votes, we get more than that. We get 70+% votes. There's one reason for why the public continually expresses by voting how they support the parks. They love the parks. And why do they love the parks? I don't want to disappoint the general manager. I don't want to disappoint my fellow commissioners. But the reason they love the parks are everybody in this room and the job you do day in and day out. So give yourselves a hand. Let me recognize my fellow commissioners that are here today. Vice President of the Commission, Kat Anderson. Now, this will disappoint Vince, but I'm going to call him Mr. Labor in San Francisco, Larry Mazzola. An old friend of mine who recently was appointed to the commission, Larry Griffin. Larry? And someone who's making us feel good at every meeting, and that's Commissioner Benita Louie. And I'm happy to say that a former commissioner and a former gardener in Golden Gate Park, he was on the commission for 16 years, Tom Harrison. And you should know Tom was recently appointed a commissioner for the brand new Sanitation and Streets Commission. So thank you, Tom, again for your service. So let me now turn to a former commissioner, Alan Lowe. He served on the commission for 9 years until 2021. And Alan is here today to present something very special to the department. Welcome, former Commissioner Lowe.
Thanks. Thank you, Mr. President. I guess I still have to call you that for now. Okay. All right. My dad passed in December, and he loved San Francisco, and he embraced it, and he had a very strong sense of justice and fixing things that were wrong. So one thing that he stumbled on in his career as presiding judge of the Court of Historical Review was William Hammond Hall. Apparently, there were allegations of fraud and misdealing and things that impugned his reputation. And he thought that was wrong. So he opened up a court case hearing. It was before the Court of Historical Review. And in 1986, he exonerated William Hammond Hall, calling him a true visionary for the city and county of San Francisco, thanking him for his service and for his vision for Golden Gate Park. So I am very pleased that the department has framed his decision, and this will be hanging over at McLaren Lodge in the William Hammond Hall conference room. So this is. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you to the commissioners for doing this. Thank you to the department. Thank you to Local 261. I think in my dad's heart, he was a 261 guy. But I do want to say thank you very much. This was very touching. Our family is very grateful, and this is a nice way to remember my dad. Thank you.
If you could all raise a glass to Judge Lowe, he really was an incredible jurist, a civic leader, and above all, a mensch. Alan, to your dad. Cheers. All right, as I mentioned in the beginning, this is a partnership. This is not the department's awards. This is our Rec and Park Commission and the men and women of labor. And this is, so now what I would like to do is introduce a few individuals who help give voice to our workers and help our employees thrive in public service. So I'd like to bring up, I think, Teresa Foglio, Larry Mazzola, Commissioner Larry Mazzola. And is Ramon coming up too? And Ramon Hernandez. Come on up, Ramon.
Here you go, Commissioner.
Thank you, Phil. Thank you, everyone. My name is Larry Mazzola. I'm the president of the San Francisco Building Trades, and I'm also a commissioner because it says so right here. Anyhow, I'm happy to be here today, and last year I said the same thing. I'm going to say it again because it needs to be said, but I want to thank Local 261 for starting the William Hammond Hall Awards over 10 years ago. It was a great idea they had because to me, nothing is better than recognizing the workers. The workers need to be recognized for what they do. You guys worked through a pandemic. You worked in tough situations around needles and everything else. I don't need to tell you, but it doesn't go unnoticed by this commission and by all the leaders of the building trades, what you guys have done. And we appreciate you, and that's why we're here. And I want to thank Vince and 261 and Ramon and Teresa for opening it up to all the building trades, which we've been doing the last few years. So thank you very much, 261. So something that we're going to do this year is a little different than other years, but we wanted to recognize somebody this year that needs recognition. You know, it's tough to run a department, especially in San Francisco. It's been tough lately with people throwing darts at the department from City Hall and other places. And, we're here to say that we think the Rec and Park Department is the best run department in San Francisco. And as commissioners, we know that it is the best run department in San Francisco. And everything we do is on the up and up. And we don't need to be second guessed. And that starts with the head of our department, Phil Ginsberg. And he's doing a hell of a job running the department, and we want to thank him. So we have a little something for him, and I'll let Ramon and Teresa tell you what that's all about. But I want to thank Phil for everything he's doing for this department and the support you've given labor and the building trades with the apprenticeship programs and everything else that you support. You've been doing the apprenticeship program with the laborers for many, many years. And now you're opening it up with other trades. The relationship has never been better with the building trades. And, I've told you this before, and we laugh and we argue, but you are a labor guy, and we're happy to have you in our corner. So thank you.
So I was so honored when they asked me to participate in giving Phil this award because you have been the most amazing partner when it comes to workforce development. Because you shared the vision and because of your dedication, this is now a nationwide model. Recently, we were at our Pacific Southwest conference, and our sister Jennifer from Local 777, she was up and she was speaking, and she gave this our apprenticeship program praise and credit for what they are doing. So she represents public sector employees in Arizona. Okay, red state. We're trying to turn it blue. It's getting a little purple nowadays. But they took our horticultural apprenticeship program, mimicked it, and then from that format and from that structure, they created the first sanitation worker apprenticeship in the nation. So it was very humbling, and we were very proud when she's speaking in front of hundreds of our brothers and sisters from our region. And we couldn't have done it without employer buy-in, without management buy-in. And Phil, with your leadership, we've been able to change hundreds and soon thousands of families' lives. So thank you so much and congratulations. Well deserved. That was a surprise.
Yes, it was. Wow. Thank you, guys. I really am touched. And the only thing I will say is that we are nothing without the men and women that do the work every day. Like, that's why we're good. And that is a very, very gratifying honor. So thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. I really, really appreciate it. But today is not about me. Today is about our amazing 12 awardees. So this is now the best. We're coming to the meat of the matter. This is the best part of the event, the reason why we're celebrating. So we are now going to introduce to you this year's class of William Hammond Hall Award winners. And 3 of our esteemed commissioners will be reading the honoree names, beginning with our president, Mr. Buell. Are you ready?
I have a couple of items before we get to reading the names.
Yes, sir.
Mr. General Manager, let me say on a serious note, I call him the Energizer Bunny, but Phil never stops. And if you know all the programs going on in Rec and Park, I'm surprised that he's still married because he's away every weekend at events that are going on in the park system, trying to make sure that they run properly and everybody enjoys them. So Phil, from me to you, thank you very much for what you do. All right, before we get to the awards, we have 2 commissioners who are going to contribute to this ceremony. I want to introduce the commission vice president. She's an attorney, she's a cafe owner, and she's a poet. Kat Anderson, come up here, young lady.
Thank you, President. Thank you, General Manager. And more importantly, thank you, everybody in the room. Thank you for all that you have done. I just want to share with you a little bit about how inspirational each and every one of you are, the awardees and all the colleagues. First of all, I'm completely inspired by what I heard, said, and written about the nominees. You were nominated by your colleagues, supervisors, all of the above. And you really went above and beyond. And I want to commend you for that. And I'm sorry we don't have about 225 awards because everyone in this room is deserving of special recognition, and I know the awardees would share that sentiment. Each of you, together as a collective, does beautiful things. I raised my children in your parks, our parks. They love San Francisco so much, they haven't left yet, and they're 27 and 25. I mean, that's an amazing achievement as far as I'm concerned. They love our parks. I do too. Another part of our park system is Camp Mather. And if you haven't had a chance to experience it, I hope you will. And we have another colleague, Neil Fay, who's I think he's our oldest city and county employee, as well as the oldest Rec and Park employee. Neil Fay, 96-year-old naturalist in Camp Mather, and his colleague, Tom Graham. Because of a nature walk that I did with them, and because of some recent visits I was doing in our parks here in San Francisco, I wanted to write a nature poem. And I know probably a golf course and a bar might not be the best place to read a poem, but I really appreciate your attention and know that I really was thinking about all of you and our parks and Camp Mather and nature when I wrote this. And by the way, I've submitted it to the New Yorker magazine, so hey, we could all get famous together. Well, let's see if it happens. It's called Semper Virens, and I'm sure all of you know that means forever alive. And 1,000,000 years later, I kick the granite rocks with my boot, and they bounce off you like rain off asphalt. You once stood up on that scraggly ridge, a sentinel for gray-white masses hobbling along on ancient meltwater, carving out the valley below. I have known you since before I was known, craning my neck to see the top of your rusty armor, the scent of your needles like pepper, ginger, and coriander in my nose and throat. But today, you are fallen, not like the snow that dances down, not like the hawk feather that sways here then there, not like the leaves that tack and jib, beating their course to the bottom. You are fallen upward to the upside down, reflecting into the reflection, what echoed back from the residue of the ancient meltwater. And your hardness has softened, and your solid spaces have fallen away, becoming sky, becoming wind. All around where you lay, chartreuse seedlings prepared to embrace await your signal. They don't yet know what you know, that earth's heart beats blood to the surface, that river cools it, that glacier presses and compresses and moves it, leaving fields of granite rocks. And 1,000,000 years later, I kick them with my boot as I bounce off of you. And I dedicate that to everybody in this room. Thank you.
Thank you, Kat. There's a lot of talent on this commission. And I want you to know, I wrote a poem. I ran a marathon, and after the marathon, I wrote a poem. The poem goes like this: to run is fun, a lot is not. Thank you. All right. Now, when we lost Commissioner Eric McDonald, he was not, his term expired. We didn't lose him. His term expired, but he was our resident singer. And we were sad to see that talent go off the commission, but who knew? Commissioner Vanita Louie is going to come up and perform a little number for you. Please welcome Commissioner Vanita Louie. Tell me when you're ready.
Get the guitar.
Okay. Little setup going on here. You want me to hold this?
Okay, what I learned from being a Commissioner 101 is that whenever Ashley Summers, our Commissioner Liaison, or even Mark Buell or Phil Ginsberg or even Beverly Ng or Denny asks you to do something, the answer is okay, okay? So this one goes out to Ashley Summers. You know, she is just never gets enough credit, but she called me one day and said, Commissioner, can you bring your guitar and sing a song about a park? Okay, so I'm going to ask you guys out there, how many people know a song that's about a park? Okay, so I'm going to help you along for the sake of time. Okay, we have Donna Summers' MacArthur Park, but that's not a good park because that's a park that was melting in the dark. We have, Saturday in the Park. But there's no horn section. Exactly. Okay, and half of you probably weren't even born yet, but in 1965, Billy Stewart came out with a song that was called Sitting in the Park. Okay, that's a really sad song. It's about sitting in the park waiting for you. Well, the girl never showed up, okay? So way too song. So then I erased the paper and I said, okay, today is about our awardees. And it's about our laborers. And it's about the Rec and Park Department. And it's because of you and what you do every day when you get up. You keep our parks alive. You keep our trees from dying. And you make the parks a better place. So Ashley, this goes out to you and all of you. She's going to hand out something if she hasn't already. And I'm going to put this down. Thank you. in our
That was terrific. Fantastic. Don't be surprised if there's a cover charge at the next Rec and Park Commission meeting. All right, we're going to get into the awards part. Just before we do, I do want to recognize someone who had much to do with making today happen and has much to do with making our commission work properly, and that's our commission secretary, Ashley Summers. Please give it up for her. Thank you, Ashley. All right, here we go. Our first awardee, Kendra Armitage. Now, unfortunately, Kendra is not able to join us today, but we hope she's watching the live stream, and we would like to read a little bit about what makes Kendra so deserving of this award. Kendra has impeccable leadership skills, and when called upon, she always makes herself available to her team. She is a wealth of resources when it comes to brainstorming horticultural ideas or landscape designs with her fellow landscape supervisors in PSA 6. When it comes to the big picture, Kendra remains focused when issues arise, always with an understanding of the shops that will be involved and who will be impacted. She has allowed the Mission Complex to complete multiple training exercises at the parks in her complex and has provided the training equipment as well. Kendra is maintaining and improving the Native Walk Living Library and focuses on making it pollinator-friendly. In addition to all that she does within our department, she earned her master's degree last year. How about that? Her team-oriented disposition has proven to be essential in PSA 6's ability to thrive. So let's hear it for Kendra. Okay. Next, Olga Begin. Olga's dedication to teaching, horticulture, and public service is evident through her strong mentorship and leadership as captain of the Gardener Apprenticeship Program. Olga is a former apprentice and has gone on to set the bar for apprentice success. She is precise about what she expects and demonstrates her commitment to the trade by example. She is fair-minded, and her approach to teaching is unambiguous. She encourages apprentices to be well-rounded gardeners, including knowledge of botanical names, how to start a chainsaw safely, I could learn about that, without flooding the engine and treating their colleagues in the trade with respect. She's also committed to her own development and education and takes horticulture classes on her own time. She stands out as a leader by the nature of her commitment and integrity of character and matches the department's vision of excellence. Congratulations. That's for you. What else do we have for Olga?
Let's see, I don't know if we're getting it up now.
Yep, we're looking through a variety. You'll get a mayor's commendation. And anything else, Phil, or is it?
Something from Senator Wheeler.
Oh, your wall will be covered with applause and praise.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you very much. Good job.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
All right. Why don't we put you in the middle?
Apprentice Class 2042.
All right. Our third awardee, Jacob Black. Jake is a phenom. He started with the Urban Trails program on the heels of being named Apprentice of the Year. Just over a year later, he was awarded the Park Service's captain position. In his time with his division, Jake has demonstrated a tireless team-first attitude. Each project he is assigned, from technical trail maintenance tasks to trash removal and park beautification, Jake completes with efficiency, attention to detail, and passion. Not just sometimes, but nearly every day, Jake completes the day's project and then prioritizes and completes a new set of tasks. Jake is so motivated that he often researches new ideas and techniques on his personal time so he can share and possibly implement them on the job. Jake is a tremendous asset to his team, the department, and the public he serves. Congratulations, Jake.
Thank you so much.
And here you go. There is your... Get a picture? Thank you, thank you. Awardee number 4, Federico Gonzalez. Congratulations. It's been said that there isn't a park in San Francisco that Federico hasn't put his hands on as one of the hardest working and competent cement masons around. Federico is the unique combination of a quick and excellent craftsman. Department staff appreciate working with him because of his calm and friendly demeanor. They know that if Federico is on the job, the work will be exceptional. Federico is currently working on preserving the ruins of Sweeney Observatory for the future generations to enjoy and children to clamber over. Congratulations, Federico. Give you your certificate. Get in the middle here. Whoa.
Show your, you want to show your certificate? Yeah, let's see.
Upside down. Perfect. I don't want to do the upside down.
Thank you, Federico. Okay, moving along now. You've heard enough from me. I want to pass the floor to our newest commissioner, Larry Griffin, who will be reading the next group of names. Welcome, Larry.
Thank you, Mark. I got him here. Oh, I see. Thank you. I'm the second to newest commissioner. Well, my awardee is number 5, Evan Hawkins. All right. Evan is a leader in the community within the Western Addition complex. Evan produces and maintains excellent standards for Alamo Square, which was a lifeline to residents during the pandemic. Evan's team consistently refer to him as the best NOMO in the city. There's not a weed in sight at Alamo Square because of Evan, at least not on the ground. He fosters community engagement with our parks. He leads a monthly volunteer work party and works with the Alamo Square Neighborhood Association. He mentors and works well with his colleagues, including training new hires and working with apprentices. Evan is an irrigation aficionado and a source of endless irrigation knowledge for his peers. Evan always goes the extra mile to help his colleagues, most importantly, making coffee for his team every morning. Congratulations, Evan. Number 6, Martin Hickey. Martin's solution-oriented and can-do attitude has been instrumental in the success of our department, and especially large projects. Martin works closely with the supervisors to get work done efficiently. He recently oversaw the delivery of 25 loads of mulch to Lafayette Park, ensuring the most recent project there was a success. Martin is someone that staff can depend on during a crisis. A few weeks ago at 9:45 a.m., a tree fell on a water line at the Palace of Fine Arts, sorry about that, during a major event, flooding the area where the cooks were working at the time. By 11:30 a.m., Martin had organized a comprehensive response and fixed the issue. The event was able to go on because of Martin's quick response. He will make anything work and doesn't say no. He just looks towards a solution and gets it done. Congratulations, Martin. Number 7, Gabriel Ortega. Gabriel's knowledge is vast. He is always ready to offer advice on appropriate plants for troublesome areas or help troubleshoot pest identification in trees and shrubs. He recognizes the importance in relationships and is easy to communicate with. Always willing to take a moment to answer any questions gardeners and supervisors might have. This past winter, he served as a Recscape project leader and worked with new gardeners and apprentices to show them best practices in creating a landscape that protects resources, conserves water, and prevents pollution. Earlier this year, Gabriel took over as acting chief nursery specialist for the nursery. And made a seamless transition into this role. He is gracious and kind and really cares about the parks and the plants. He deserves recognition for his aptitude and hard work, especially all the work he puts into events like this one, creating beautiful arrangements of plants and flowers for everyone to enjoy. And I'd like to add one thing. The mayor sent her regards today to Gabriel and thanked him for his floral arrangements. Congratulations, Gabriel. Okay. Well, the final one for my list is Richard Ortiz. Richard is a veteran of this department, having worked here for more than 2 decades. He demonstrates the utmost respect for his peers and for management, enabling him to succeed at the highest level. Rich moves quietly around the department, tackling his assignments efficiently and always with professionalism and incredible integrity and quality. Over the years, he has helped maintain Camp Mather, which is a treasure for generations of San Franciscans. He is respectful, builds relationships, is resilient every day, responds to daily challenges, and always gets results. He always has a smile on his face and is courteous to all he meets. Richard is an asset to the department and an example of a true public servant. Yeah. Congratulations, Richard. And that's it for me today, folks.
Thank you, Commissioner Griffin. And now, let me introduce a man who you met earlier. He needs no introduction. Not only is he the voice of labor, he is business manager for Local 38 Plumbers and Pipe Fitters, Commissioner Larry Mazzola.
All right. This is the fun part. The first awardee I get to introduce as number 9 is David Perez. All right. Due to David's dedication, he has been assigned to 2 high-profile parks, Huntington Square and St. Mary's Square. David is a hard-working gardener who takes great pride in his assigned parks, especially the lawns. He is continuously looking for ways to improve the irrigation for better coverage, even going so far as to hand water spots, hot spots. He fences off damaged areas due to overuse and dogs, so he can reseed and top dress with organic compost, and he push mows both the parks to keep them to his high standards. David's dedication and hard work has been noticed by the public and by his peers. Multiple neighbors sent in appreciation letters to management about David's beautification and renovation projects. His peers enjoy working with him on group projects and learning from his outstanding work at Huntington Square and St. Mary's Square. Congratulations, David. All right, the next recipient is number 10, Carlos Reyes. In the 3 years Carlos has been with the carpentry shop, he has quickly become one of the go-to people, not just in the carpentry shop, but also in the yard. His thoughtful demeanor and his follow-through are second to none when it comes to a customer-centric attitude. As he reminds his colleagues daily, perfect is good enough. Carlos is more than a team player. He is always willing to volunteer for projects, work emergency overtime when others are not available, or head to Mather on a moment's notice. He is continually improving the shop with his great ideas and making sure that work orders get done correctly. Carlos always communicates with the requester to ensure that they are informed on the status of the work orders. He has been unofficially dubbed the shop's party planning committee because he is always willing to bring in a cake in honor of a shop member's birthday. A cake? He makes the shop a better place to work and inspires the team to continue with those little things, showing crew members their importance and how much they are appreciated. Congratulations, Carlos Reyes. All right, the next recipient, number 11, Naomi Win. Naomi is an exemplary gardener, co-worker, and employee, and is the definition of patience, respect, and thoughtfulness. Naomi is always available to help her coworkers, do overtime for special events, and give guidance to the new gardeners and apprentices. Naomi's beat is immaculate. She took a once-forgotten area and turned it around in just a few months. Now called the Tea Garden Redwood Grove by her peers, Naomi put a thoughtful plant palette in place under a redwood grove across from the Japanese tea garden. Naomi is whimsical and intuitive gardener with an amazing green thumb. Every area she takes care of has a bit of magic in it. Naomi also takes care of the Shakespeare Garden in Golden Gate Park, which is a highly sought-after garden for events. She puts her heart and soul into making the garden beautiful for all the events that are scheduled, even the last-minute ones. She encourages her coworkers through mentorship and horticultural knowledge and keeps the crew in great spirits. She has become the glue in Section 2. She goes above and beyond whenever called upon for last-minute emergencies. Naomi has a passion for her job. She cares about the park, the RPD family, and the citizens and tourists who visit. She encompasses all of the 5 R's that guide us here at Rec and Park. She is both respected and respectful. She has forged a meaningful and productive relationship, and she is beyond resilient. Ask Naomi to do anything, and the responsiveness and results are without question. She's an asset to Rec and Park and is a top-notch civil servant. With that, Naomi. All right, last but certainly not least, number 12, Cynthia Wheeler. This one's a little dear to my heart because she's a member of my Local 38. And she's the first female officer of Local 38. She is elected on our finance committee. All right. Plumbing and irrigation issues are notoriously difficult, but Cynthia makes them a pleasure to tackle. She is always positive and respectful. Obviously, they didn't let me proofread this. Just kidding. We go way back. It is evident by the effort she puts into building them that she values relationships. There is no questioning her resilience and results. Her team has watched her stick with some very challenging repairs, always ensuring that the job is done right before she walks away. Finally, she is always very responsive when gardeners reach out with a question or follow-up regarding a repair. Going to work with someone like Cynthia, who always gets the job done and can laugh along the way, makes the challenges staff face in the field a little easier. Cynthia is highly deserving of this recognition, as she is a model for all in how to approach public service in our parks. With that, Cynthia Wheeler.
When Larry introduced Cynthia, it was kind of like, if you've been to a Warriors game this season, you know what it's like when Steph is the last one introduced coming off the bench. There was Steph Curry, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's give it up for our 12 awardees. So before we do the People's Choice Awards, hello. That's got to be T-Han. Before we do the People's Choice Awards, otherwise known as the Stumpy, and I will let Allie, who's going to present, explain exactly what the Stumpy is for those of you who don't know. Before we do it, We are very, very, very pleased, and I want to get us all to give a big warm welcome to our District 8 Supervisor, Raphael Mandelman, who's going to come up and say a few words. Hey, so this location, you know, we're a little ways away from City Hall, and it is a busy, busy, busy week at City Hall this week with budget and a whole bunch of other things going on. And I just want you all to notice who's here, because he always shows up for us. He is a great park champion, and we really, really, really appreciate him. Go, Rafi.
Thank you, Phil. There is a lot of stuff going on. Happy Pride, everybody. I'm the supervisor for District 8, which means I represent the Castro, Noe Valley, Glen Park, Diamond Heights. I got some great parks in my district, and I am so grateful for all the work that you all do to make those parks amazing. I'm grateful for Phil Ginsberg. Phil gets a lot of grief from. Okay, all right. But I would say, you know, if you think about what works in San Francisco and what doesn't work in San Francisco, and I'm, you know, as a representative of local government, I hear about all the stuff that does and does not work. I don't hear a lot of complaints about our parks. You know, I actually hear a lot of love for our parks. And, you know, the Controller's Office does a study of, you know, public perception of delivery of different kinds of services, and consistently, parks are at the top, and that's strong leadership, Phil Ginsberg, even though constantly, you know, getting guff, and then a strong workforce of talented people doing great work for San Francisco. So there are many amazing commissioners and labor leaders and all sorts of great folks here, so thank all of you, but really thanks to all of you who work for the Parks Department, Rec Park, and do all the stuff. And I just, you know, I since I have one superpower in the universe, which is to bring certificates of honor from the Board of Supervisors, we do have certificates for Kendra and Olga and Jacob. You've heard all these names already. And Frederico and Evan and Martin and Gabriel and Richard and David and Carlos and Naomi and Cynthia. And you all are way more popular than we are, but we do have certificates for you. So thank you for all your work.
Thank you, Rafi. All right, so what we're going to do, if you could hang out for just another minute or two, we're going to take a group photo with Labor and Supervisor Mandelman and our commissioners. But before we do that, Allie, are you ready? Are you doing? Oh, Olga, that's right. Olga, this is a very special day for you. Not only were you awarded a William Hammond Hall Award, but you get to pass on something known as the Stumpy. So you will have to explain what this tradition is and who you are presenting it to. And where is the Stumpy? Oh, the Stumpy is hidden. Oh, there it is. I will give it to you.
Thank you. Whoa. Sure. You're gonna go with Ali? So, yeah, I'm only but the last recipient in that long line of the Stumpy chain, as we know it. Here is what we are talking about. It's inexplicable. It's it's the Stumpy, and so tonight I would like to pass it along to someone who represents, I think, very well the mysterious qualities of the Stumpy. and this year, that's who's going to be stewarding the Stumpy until the next William Hammond Hall Award ceremony next year, hopefully.
That's going to be Randy Vasquez.
What does the Stumpy mean to you, Randy?
Is this on? Yeah, it's on. You know, the Stumpy. You know, I don't know. You guys, I love you guys. I love this department. And everyone here is just so amazing. And that's what the Stumpy would mean to me is everyone else who's here. So thank you guys.
Right. The Stumpy Award winners just get to hang out. They can just stay, or they get to do whatever they want. All right, a few more thank yous. I want to make sure that a few folks are recognized today. Sitting in the background, quiet, because this is a day for the men and women who are out in the field. But I do want to take a moment to celebrate and acknowledge some of the leaders of Rec and Park present today, and he never misses this, our Operations Director, Denny Kern. We are in the presence of not one, but two superintendents today. Our Superintendent of Parks, Eric Anderson, and our Superintendent of our Structural Maintenance Yard, Steve Shee. And I want to acknowledge some of our amazing managers. In PSA 1, Zach Taylor's here. PSA 2, Michelle Pallavicini. PSA 3, Emeritus Robert Watkins. And PSA 3, Actual Danny Choi. PSA 5, Carol Siankowski. PSA 6, because she's that good, Michelle Pallavicini. She's got 2 right now. Our Golden Gate Park wizard, Dave Irburn. Our head of natural resources, Christopher Campbell. And not here today, because he's probably getting ready for Stern Grove out in PSA 4, Brandon Young. Let's give all these folks a big hand. And then to the awardees, just so you know, yes, you got the certificate and all the praise, but wait, there's more. You got certificates from all kinds of elected officials, including Raphael and his esteemed colleagues on the Board of Supervisors. You got a very impressive gift card to the Gold Mirror Restaurant, Larry Mazzola and Vince Courtney's favorite place in the Sunset. You got a bottle of wine. You got tons of Rec and Park swag as if you didn't have enough. You got a certificate redeemable, this is exciting, for a yet-to-be-designed, first-time ever, William Hammond Hall patch that you will proudly be able to proudly wear in all your uniforms. And that will happen going forward. And 2-day passes to Outside Lands, baby. So that's all for our award winners. So I want to thank, I also want to really thank Ashley and Teresa and everybody from 261 and the trades, everybody who's had a hand in pulling this off. A big shout out to Tom Smith and our good friends at Harding Golf Course for lending us this space and making just giving us such a warm welcome. And now let's bring up the commissioners, our labor leaders, to take a picture with the awardees and Supervisor Mandelman. And then after that, it is time to party. Thanks, everybody. Till next year.
Get in there, Billy.